Before we start this video, I just want to say this is my opinion and my opinion only. You may disagree or you may agree with my opinion. That is fine. You guys can leave me your guys' opinions in the comment section down below. This is the whole part of the series to interact with you guys, to get your guys' opinions, and get your guys' take on what we're going to talk about with NHL 23 this year, and what could we see and what could we not see. This is the whole point of this series that I do every single year, is to get everybody's feedback on what they think should be in NHL 23 or should not be in NHL 23. So about a week or a couple weeks ago, I put on my community tab asking you guys what should we talk about first when it comes down to NHL 23, and you guys mostly voted on no last gen. So we're going to talk about that. So we're in that process. We're in that transformation or cross period between the Xbox One and the Series X and Series S and PS4 to PS5. So we're in that transition state between last gen and next gen. And we had this with the PS3 and the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One and PS4. And for the PS3 and Xbox 360, they released legacy editions of the NHL games, which was made by a different company. It wasn't made exactly by EA, but they put their name on it. They're just a publisher, basically. They're not the developer, they're the publisher of the game. And so they let other companies or other company make the legacy editions for those old generations between, because some people, obviously now it's a little bit harder to get a next-gen console than it was a PS4 or an Xbox One back in the day. It's a lot harder now to get a next-gen console, and a lot of people don't even have the next-gen consoles just yet. Me, luckily, I got both. I got the Xbox Series X when it launched. I got it on launch day. I got the PS5 about a month ago. So right now we're still in that transition period between last generation and this new generation with the Series X and Series S and the PS5. So are they going to release a next gen, or are they just going to release just a next gen version of the game? So basically you only can get it if you play on Xbox Series X and Series S or PS5. And are they going to make a legacy edition for the Xbox One and PS4 like they did with the PS3 and Xbox 360? Or are we going to have the same as we do last year with NHL 22, where you have to buy both versions of the game if you want to play with your friends that are still on Xbox One, and you guys are, if you're on PlayStation 5 and your friends are on PS4, you have to buy the last gen version and the next gen version if you guys want to play the next gen version. For me, if it wasn't for YouTube and recording, be a pro and everything like that, I wouldn't have bought the next gen version of the NHL 22. I would have just stuck with the Xbox One version of NHL 22 because there's really no difference between the two other than just maybe crisper or high quality graphics, like a little bit like less blurriness with the graphics when it comes down to it. But other than that, I wouldn't have not bought the next gen version unless it was because I record my Be a Pro series with the next gen version of the game, because obviously it gives me the better looking game out of it, right? It gives me the better looking version of that game. So that's why I bought the X Factor edition. I do not recommend people buying the X Factor edition unless you're in the same boat as me. If you want to play on the next gen version, but your friends are still in the Xbox One. Another reason that I bought the X Factor edition, it wasn't just because of YouTube. It was because my friend, we game share. So every game that I buy, he plays also. So we play almost every single night together, and he's still on Xbox One. So if I don't get the Xbox One version of the game, we cannot play at all together. So I bought the X Factor edition also because of that. So, and everything like that. So, but is there going to be just a strictly next generation NHL 23? I think so. I think there's going to be just a next gen version of the game. In my opinion, I think there's just going to be a next-gen version. It's just going to be on PS5 and Xbox Series X and Series S. Other than that, I don't think there is going to be as we're going to be seeing the exact same thing as we did with last generation and this generation with NHL 22. Like, we're going to get both versions. I think a lot of people are not going to go for, if they do that, if they did the exact same thing as last year with NHL 23 as they did with NHL 22, a lot of people are not going to buy the next gen version of the game because, like, it's not worth the money right now. Like, it's not worth the extra $10 to $20 or extra $10 that we have to spend for next gen version of games to actually fork out that money. If we could buy the last generation of games and it still works on our PS5 and Xbox Series X, why not buy the last gen version? You save $10, and if you have EA Play, you save an extra 10% on that too as well. So it really comes down to the person it really comes down to the person who's actually going to buy the version. If you want to buy the next gen version and the last gen version, go ahead. It's really up to you. But for me personally, if I wasn't doing YouTube or anything like that, I would have just purchased the last generation because you can still play it on a next gen console. That's the weird part about this generation as we go into, obviously, the next generation. We're already into the next generation, even though a lot of people don't have these consoles and it's very hard to get. We're in the next generation of consoles. So when it comes down to it, I think there's just going to be a strictly next gen version of NHL 23, and there's going to be a legacy edition for NHL 23 when it comes down to the Xbox One and PS4. So, but you guys can let me know in the comments below and what you guys think about this. We're going to have these videos going out in like every other week. Me discussing some stuff with NHL 23 because it's early enough to discuss, and maybe EA could make some changes if they do discover my videos and they do discover some of these videos that we talk about with NHL 23 and like, oh, that's a good idea, yeah, we should do that and all that stuff. So it's just to kick around the idea to talk about NHL 23 pretty early, so we could probably get EA's attention to probably change some stuff with NHL 23, or maybe add some stuff to NHL 23. That's what this whole series is about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't already. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. My Discord server is linked in the description down below, where you can actually discuss some NHL 23 stuff if you guys want to. But anyways, my name is Justin or Prez. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just hold an obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.